Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it. Greetings, Algo Artisans. It is Nick Petruzzello, Monday, July 28th, and this is our weekly forecast for Algo Factory. We're going to do some charts, but before we do, go ahead into the description, click the link for your free algo, put in your name, real name, fake name, we don't care, put in your email address. We'll send you that algo, and we will keep you on a list of people who might be interested in our workshop. The first workshop will be free. It will be soon. We will let you know when that is. The next ones will be paid workshops, but the first one is free, so stand by for that. So the charts we look at today will be the NASDAQ, USDJPY, Bitcoin, EURUSD, AUDUSD, GBPJPY, and gold. And before we look at that, we're going to take a look at the economic data that is coming out this week that can affect these charts. Okay, it's going to be a relatively short forecast because the FOMC is on Wednesday. That's when the Federal Reserve determines their interest rate. But let's go ahead and start on Monday here. We have not much going on. Tuesday, we have a red envelope event at 10 a.m. EST. That's USD JOLTS job openings. Tuesday, 9:30 p.m., we have some Aussie news. Their CPI is coming out. Wednesday, early, we have the non-farm employment change, advanced GDP, all from the USD side. Some Canadian news, their monetary policy report and statement that happens at 9:45 a.m. EST. Their press conference right after that. And then we have the federal funds rate at FOMC, and that happens at 2 p.m. EST on Wednesday. Bank of Japan is also going to do their policy rate, and they have that scheduled as tentative. We don't know what time that's coming out, and that can be pretty important as these things go. So I would be very careful trading until that Bank of Japan policy rate is already out. Let's go ahead and move on to Thursday at 8:30 a.m. EST. We have some inflation data coming out and some employment data coming out, which is every week at 8:30 a.m. EST. And at that same time, we have the Canadian GDP coming out. Friday will be a quiet day with the exception of more employment data coming out at 8:30 a.m. EST for the dollar for the US side, and the ISM manufacturing PMI for the US as well. Let's jump into the charts with the NASDAQ. Now, for those of you who saw last week's video, every single one of my predictions was generally correct. It was a really good week. There were not a lot of surprises. Now, there have been some surprises, which is why I started doing this on Monday instead of Sunday. There's been a lot of Monday craziness going on. As a matter of fact, it happened last night. We'll get into that. But first, let's talk about what we think is going to happen here with the NASDAQ. It's probably going to go sideways to up. We have 2 targets to the upside, 23,650 and 23,750. Now, things might go kind of slow because we have the FOMC on Wednesday, and all my predictions will stop at that time. There is a possible rate cut coming, although some people are thinking it might not happen. Others think it might be a surprise 50 basis point rate cut. And because of the unpredictable nature of such huge news, including the Bank of Japan news as well, I'm going to stop the predictions after a couple of days here on Wednesday at 2 p.m. EST. But I do expect price to break above 23,580, which is the all-time high that was reached on Sunday in the NASDAQ futures. And then I expect price to come up and at least test 23,650, and if things remain very bullish, it may go up to 23,750 as the next target. Let's look at the USDJPY. Now, this has been very bullish all day, bullish overnight, and I expect it to continue to do so. The local high is sitting right here at 149,218, where these two lines are. Price might knock its head on that and go sideways for a bit, or it might not. It could break through and head up, and if it just continued along this trajectory, I don't expect it to make it all the way to 151.24. It very well could, but remember, the BOJ is tentative. We don't know what time they're going to talk. In the last couple of months, it has happened after the day or late in the day that they talked about. So I expect these prices to do something along these lines. Again, it could slow down because of the data coming out and the market becoming uncertain around that data. So we might see it just hang out below 149.18 or break above. We'll see. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin did exactly like the rest of my predictions last week, what I thought it would do. It stayed within this range. It did deviate down and dip down to 114,720. I do think we still have in the cards a move down to 112. It could happen right now, though. Whichever way we see a breakout, chances are it's going to go that way. However, I said that last week, it did break out to the downside and then it broke back up. A little bit of what looked like a bear trap. At the time, I was able to make money on it, and of course, we made some good money with Algo Factory this morning. I shorted this move down today, and I did well with that. In the meantime, I don't expect a lot. It could break down or up, go sideways. Very quiet on the Bitcoin front right now. Let's take a look at the euro. Now, this is where the big news was over the weekend. The trade deal was made with Europe. It was a massive trade deal, and it was really something that's going to make a big difference in the financial sector. It doesn't sound like it's a very good deal for the Europeans as far as the regular people. However, right now, the euro having gone down in a way that it has not been seen since I can even look back on this chart, this move down is unparalleled right now, going back maybe to last year. These kind of moves do not usually sustain for long, but the bearishness is real. I expect the euro to bounce around 115.54, but the bounce might be very short-lived. We might get like a 382 retracement from the top, so basically this whole move down might bounce down here and come up to grab around this area at 116.37 and then head down to go grab some lower targets. That could happen. It remains to be seen, but if price does make its way down to this 115.54 area, I will be looking for longs to at least catch whatever happens as price negotiates this strong support from the last couple of weeks right here. Let's move on to AUDUSD. This is pretty bearish, but not like the euro. This is short-term bearish, but it's high time frame kind of neutral. I expect it to kind of grind sideways and down and maybe not make it below 64.54 by Wednesday. Let's take a look at GBPJPY. This one is quiet. It did exactly what I thought it would, just like the rest of them last week. It just probably will continue to grind in this range until a direction is chosen by the market. Mind you, this is a JPY pair, so if the Bank of Japan does come out with its data and that data is considerably different to what is expected, this could do all kinds of stuff. But until then, I expect not a lot out of the beast. Pretty nice chart to trade if you're a range trader though. But there's a bit of a clear range right here in the last, say, 5 or 6 days, last week, where price is really bouncing very clearly off of 119.06. So if I shot a line out right here and then right here, hitting long and short on those levels, if we can reach one, is not a bad play with the beast at this time. Let's take a look at gold. Okay, gold is coming down from its highs and it is high time frame bullish, so I would not be surprised to see gold just move up. It really is unpredictable in a way at this point. It's predictable, but it'll make moves that you don't expect. Let's just say it that way. But if it were to move along as the algos seem to think it will, then I expect gold to go kind of sideways to down, maybe go down a little quicker, bounce off 32.82, and then head into the FOMC. That's barring any kind of international, political, or war issues. That's really what will push gold in the near term, is like a war breaks out or something crazy like that. In the meantime, don't expect a lot from that. Come on over to algofactory.tech. Like I said earlier, get your free algo. The link's in the description. Click on the link, give us a real name, fake name, we don't care. Through in your email, we'll send you that algo immediately. You'll also be notified when we have our weekly updates. And on top of that, we will let you know when that workshop is going to happen. I was going to do it last quarter, but things were just a little bit crazy. I think it might be a bit slower this quarter, but there are always opportunities to be had, especially in the New York Open or the European Open if you're awake for it, but we would do a New York Open thing. So give us that info. We help people learn how to build their own trading algos. The reason I can predict where price is going to go is because I have studied price. I've used this kind of data at the bottom of the screen to establish patterns. I've developed a statistical model. I know that if I do the same thing over and over again, I will win a certain amount of times. And because I know that, I can be confident that I can continue to do that and extract a certain amount of money out of the market. This takes time. It's not get rich quick, but we do show you how to do that. And we show you how to do it with your own formula, right? We don't just say, hey, trade my method and you'll get rich, because anybody who says that is probably a scammer. Come on by algofactory.tech. We will show you how to trade like a hedge fund pro, and we will see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. EST sharp. Thanks for watching.